If you want to build a business that produces you the money, the time, the freedom, the impact that you desire, then you, my friend, have to become your own superhero. And here's what I mean. I see so many coaches, myself included early in my career, they start to build businesses that they hate, that stress them out, that cause anxiety, that literally keep them shackled like a bad Marvel villain. And on the opposing side, you see people that are building lives that they hate. They're depressed, they're eating too much, they're drinking too much. They're just living life well below their potential. And then it comes to people like you and people like me that want to build these coaching businesses to help people, but then we end up getting freaking sucked down into this matrix where we hate life. We're stressed out and our businesses are not giving us the money that we want. And I seem to have cracked this code. I used to, years back, live that life where I was stressed out by my business. We were doing okay financially, but it wasn't giving me the income that I really wanted to be able to give my family the life that they wanted. And I was constantly stressed and on this roller coaster. And what I found through my journey is you have to step into becoming your own superhero. Nobody's coming to save you. You have to be your own. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to become your own superhero so that you can build a multiple 6 or even 7-figure coaching business, so that you can have the freedom that you desire, so that you can have the impact that you want to have in this world. You see, for me, I didn't start as the typical hero. Not at all. I was a short, little, scrawny white boy in Miami, Florida. And I spent most of my childhood getting beat up by gangs down there. In fact, I remember one time I was stabbed right here, which is in part why I have this tattoo to cover it up. I was stabbed by a gang. One time I was thrown off a bridge and left to drown in the Gulf of Mexico. And I could tell you, like, I was nothing but just this like reject by everybody. Nobody wanted me around. And I just went years thinking that I wasn't good enough. I remember even one instance in particular, like I finally got into sports, right? I was like, I'm going to try to get into sports. And I was benched. I was benched. My own dad even benched me during that time. So how do you think that made a kid feel? And then fast forward to some years later, I finally found some friends that kind of badass. And I was like, these are going to be my friends. They're going to provide me safety. I was always seeking that safety. I was seeking somebody to save me. I ended up getting into a lot of trouble. I was doing drugs. I was drinking alcohol, all these things to cope, right? I mean, imagine like you're a kid, right? And there's all this violence around you and you're scared. So I went to drugs and alcohol, and that led to just fighting. That led to jail. It led to a lot of things. Fast forward, I got arrested. I decided I want to make a change in my life. I move up to North Florida, and after about a year and a half of like getting off of probation and having to like do the necessary things, I ended up becoming a firefighter. And I did that because I wanted to always feel like I was a hero. So I became a firefighter. I worked there for 7.5 years. And in the middle of that journey, I got overweight. I completely let go of this whole inkling of being a hero. I took for granted the job that I had and the responsibilities that I had. So I became super overweight. And lo and behold, whether you call it God, whether you call it the universe, whether you call it divine intervention, I was struck down by an electrical current inside of a house fire. And this was November 28th, 2009. It almost ended my life. I was in the hospital for 3.5 days. And in fact, I remember during that time, I was hooked up to IVs. I mean, it was bad. They're pumping fluid to try to like rejuvenate my kidneys. And I remember this old man, this doctor looking down at me. And he says, son, you're way too young to be this out of shape and this unhealthy. In that moment, shocked me, and pun intended there. And it gave me this new this new motivation. I was like, oh yeah, doc? And so since that day, I got out of the hospital and I started to work out hard. I started to eat healthy. I started to inspire other people around me. My fire crew, everybody started to get in shape. And I was like, I'm going all in on this fitness thing. And I did. I went all in on the fitness thing. And I ended up leaving the fire department. I drove 9 hours back to Miami, Florida. And I started to like work out. I wanted to become a personal trainer. Well, right then, in the midst of all of that, I was out drinking with a couple buddies and I got arrested. I never really shared this much with people. But this is the part where I thought I had it all figured out and I got arrested. I ended up being a year on probation and couldn't drive, any of that stuff. So I remember I was still determined. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. And so I remember riding on a bicycle with my fitness bag, with my gear, and I'd go to boot camps. I'd go to this big box gym I was working in, and I would train people, and all I could fit in my duffel bag was like some dumbbells that would have dragged my bike down to some cones and stuff. We made it work. And I ended up getting in the best shape of my life to where I felt like a superhero. I ended up building a gym. Many of y'all, if you're watching this channel, you probably know that I built a gym in South Florida to over 300 members. And that whole deal, we ended up selling it. But I'm sharing this with you because in 2019, I had this dream of being able to like be that hero for myself, for my family, for my clients. And I was able to step on the stage of American Ninja Warrior. Well, talk about a full circle moment for me during this time. I stepped on stage, and it was one of the most surreal moments of my life. I was like, I actually did it. I became a real life superhero. Now I share all of this with you because you have what it takes too. And I'm not talking about being an American Ninja Warrior. I'm not even talking about being the most ultra fit that you could be. Well, that is a perk. What I'm talking about is you have your own journey. You have what it takes right now. And so all of what I went through to get me onto American Ninja Warrior, to build my businesses, it taught me one lesson, and one lesson only. I'm just kidding. It taught me a shitload of lessons, but I'm going to give you one lesson right now. It taught me that in order for you to make the impact that you want, in order for you to make the income that you want, in order for you to have the business that produces you the everything, that produces you everything that you want in life, you've got to become your own superhero. And when you could become your own superhero, you inspire other people around you to do the same. But the key here is nobody's coming to save you. And so here's some practical things that you could take today to start becoming your own superhero. First of all, quit the freaking excuses. Like seriously, quit the excuses. You're not a unique snowflake, right? You're your own person. Everybody's going through some shit. What I just shared with you, you were probably nodding along being like, yeah, I have my own stories that like that. Whether it's completely different circumstances, you had your own adversities, I'm sure, growing up or at some point in life. So quit making the freaking excuses and like decide what you want, commit to what you want, and start going after it. It's going to change. You're never going to stay the same. Your vision's going to change. Your goals are going to change. Your goals are going to evolve. You're going to evolve. That's the freaking point. Like that's the point of life. You know what I'm saying? And so firstly, decide what you want. Quit making excuses. Secondly, commit to developing the mindset, developing the beliefs to get to the next level. Tony Robbins says success is 80% psychology, 20% strategy and skills. I would argue it might even be a bigger deficit, but he's TR. He probably knows what he's talking about. What beliefs do you need? How do you have to think to get to the next level? If you want to be a successful business owner, you need to believe that making money is easy. Like if you think making money is hard, I'm here to tell you you're not going to be a successful business owner. If you believe that signing clients is hard, I'm here to tell you you're not going to be a successful business owner. So you gotta change your beliefs. You gotta change how you think. Thirdly, you gotta regulate your emotions. Dude, we're entrepreneurs, man. There's gonna be some ups and downs. There's gonna be some adversities. There's gonna be all kinds of things that we're up against. You gotta learn how to regulate your nervous system, how to control the uncontrollables, essentially. Right? Control what you can, cope with what you can't. But you've got to be able to control that nervous system. Doing things like breath work, meditation, exercise, right? Doing things that are going to help keep you at your peak. Next, you've got to learn the skills. What skill sets do you have to learn? What are those money-making skills, those high income generating skills that you need to learn? In a coaching business, especially if you're in online fitness, health, something in online coaching, I can tell you right now, you've got to learn how to write copy. You've got to know how to use words, whether it's writing or actually speaking. Like what I'm doing right now is copywriting. I'm speaking. You got to learn how to write words or speak words in a way that takes a stranger on the internet and influences them to becoming a motivated client, becoming somebody that wants to buy from you. It is a skill set. You have to learn how to get good at video, right? Or at least be proficient, be like decent at it. You got to learn how to market your business. You got to learn marketing strategy. You got to learn sales, especially in coaching. You got to learn high ticket sales. You got to learn how to take a prospect and turn them into a motivated buyer. You've got to learn coaching, right? And you might be like, I'm the best coach in the world. Are you? Are you? You might be good at your craft. You might be good at helping people like get in shape or whatever it may be. But you got to get good at coaching, at getting in the trenches with people, helping them get a result. If they're here at A, you got to help them get to B. It's a key skill. You got to learn leadership and delegation. This is what keeps most business owners stuck, is myself included. that you think you got to do it all yourself. And this happens at every level. But I'm here to tell you, you got to have people that help you. You got to have people that got your back, that can take over processes in your business. Otherwise, you're left stressed out, no time, and your business is going to crumble because of that. So you got to learn these skill sets. And there's probably way more. Not probably, there is way more that you got to learn. And then you got to learn the strategies, right? What strategies do you need to implement in your business? This is where hiring a mentor, getting somebody that's like, hey, I've already been where you want to go. I will show you the way. And then following what that mentor tells you to do, right? That's an absolute key of any successful person in any walk of life ever. So taking these things, putting them in. And a couple other things, and I think everybody here probably gets this already. Those are a lot of the business fundamentals, but they also apply to everything. If you want to become your own superhero, you also have to master your fitness, right? Like heroes aren't unfit. You've got to be fit. You've got to lead by example. You've got to show people what it takes, and not just people, but yourself, right? Evolve to your greatest version. So if we're evolving the mind, we're evolving the nervous system, we're evolving our skill sets, we're evolving our strategy. We have to evolve our bodies. We have to evolve who we are and how we show up in the world. We have to evolve our finances, right? Learning how to master your finances. You know what I'm saying? Like freaking Batman over here. You see him back in the corner, Bruce Wayne. Now you might be like, yeah, he was left with a bunch of money. Yeah, but you weren't probably, right? So you're going to learn how to manage your finances because you're not about to get your parents killed, hopefully. You know, it might be a touchy subject. You're not about to get left a bunch of money. You got to learn how to manage your finances. And these are all things that when you do, you can step into becoming your own superhero. So I leave you here with this today. I want to share this, the final message. Life is hard, man. Life can be tough. But the truth is, when you change yourself, then you change the world. Meaning, who you are and what you're becoming attracts what it is that you want in your life. If you want to have the business that produces you the money, the freedom, and the impact that you desire, become your own superhero. And when you could do that, you'll inspire others to do the same. Be seen, be heard, and be impactful.